talk is about the huge environmental concerns that AI, artificial intelligence, poses to the natural world. This is a known problem, but perhaps not well known enough. Or, if it is well known enough, as users of AI, we may not be acting responsibly enough. You wouldn't, for example, throw your rubbish away in the street, I hope, because you know that that's bad. You try not to waste gas, electricity, and water because you know that's bad for the environment and for your pocket, your money. But have you ever stopped to think about your AI use and its impact on the environment? Possibly not, because using AI is quick, simple, and for most people free of charge. Hopefully, by the end of this talk, you might think again before you use AI. So, AI is doing many good things to help protect the environment. Chooksey and colleagues in 2026, in a paper, they list the following as some of the ways that AI is helping: climate modelling, biodiversity monitoring, precision agriculture, pollution tracking, and the optimization of renewable energy. All these things are useful in helping experts understand and reduce harmful activities. An example from agriculture, which I saw on TV recently, a field for crops can be mapped and soil quality checked so that the right amount of fertilizer can be used in each specific part of the field so that the crop can grow to its optimal quality and quantity. So, yes, many good uses of AI. The big however is coming now, though. Powering AI is incredibly damaging for a number of reasons. I'm just going to summarize 3 of these reasons. Firstly is the amount of precious metals that are required to produce the microchips used in the AI computers. When these precious metals are mined, the mining is often very destructive to the natural landscape, for example through deforestation, soil damage, and loss of biodiversity. Second is the amount of energy the AI data centers use. The International Energy Agency, the IEA, claims that a request made through ChatGPT consumes 10 times more electricity than a regular Google search. It's quite astonishing. Zhu from MIT, in an article, has slightly different numbers there. He estimated that a ChatGPT query consumes about 5 times more electricity than a simple web search. So quite a difference, but still between 5 and 10 times more electricity is a lot. And despite advances in sustainable energy like solar, the IEA again estimates that over 60% of global energy is produced still from fossil fuels, oil and gas. Even as early as 2024, AI data centers accounted for about 1.5% of the world's electricity consumption. But that demand is projected to double by 2030. And that later demand by 2030 is the same as a country like Japan. So just powering AI in the world is taking the same amount of energy as a country like Japan uses. Now, when most of that energy comes from fossil fuels, the CO2 emissions from using AI are obviously very high. So that was number 2. Thirdly is water. The AI data centers use huge amounts of water. Now, why? Well, all of that hardware powering the software gets hot. It needs cooling to function properly. Nowadays, 1/4 of the world's population do not have reliable access to fresh water, The UN reports that 1.8 billion people still do not have drinking water easily available. But despite the human problem of water supply, these AI data centers consume vast amounts of fresh water. So the question is then, how much? Well, Peng-Fei Li and colleagues in 2025 estimated that training the GPT-3 language model in Microsoft's data centers in the USA was responsible for the evaporation of 700,000 litres of clean fresh water in just a month. Overall, in 2027, freshwater use by AI for cooling the systems is estimated to be more than the total annual water usage of a country like Denmark, or half of the water used by the UK. And remember at this point that the water used by AI does not go back into circulation through drainage like your wastewater does. The water used by AI evaporates. It literally disappears in the cooling of the technology that powers the AI. I've mentioned AI data centers a few times. So what are they and where are they? So these are great big warehouses where the computers are stored and the AI is working. Most are in the US, about 45% of the world's total. The other 65% is spread mainly around Europe and the Asia Pacific region, including China. But there is growth of these centers in the Middle East and Africa, two places which are not well known for having a lot of water. You might not think that access to fresh water is a problem in the UK or parts of Europe where there is a lot of rain. The UK is famous for its heavy rainfall, but you'd be quite wrong there. Almost every summer now in England, there are reports of water shortages, and AI data centers will only make that problem worse. There are more potential problems, but those three stood out for me as good reasons to think carefully before choosing to use AI. Every time you use AI in place of a regular internet search, you are effectively damaging the environment more. And I suggest listening to my talk on AI and critical thinking to consider how AI is making you less intelligent. So I hope that was useful and interesting. Thank you.